Well, it was supposed to rain. It did a little bit earlier this afternoon. The thunder and lightning struck last night in the form of the Rockies offense as they blew out the Padres in game one of this three-game series, 14-2. Colorado over the Friars yesterday. Welcome inside Coors Field, and more specifically, welcome upstairs with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. That was fun to watch last night. A season high in runs for the Colorado Rockies. They've now won 4 consecutive games. And Frazier, what's interesting is Kadyr's been sick. Tulowitzki's struggling a little bit of late. Cargo's on the DL. And yet, the Rockies have really swung the bats.
They have, and it's been all the young kids doing an awful lot of damage in these ball games, particularly Willeen Rosario. He hit the home run. 49 hits, 33 runs. In the last 4 ball games, his team has hit 338 as a team.
He's one of my favorite players in baseball.
He is?
Absolutely. Him and Jose Altuve.
Because?
You know what? I can interview them and look eye to eye with them.
That's why?
Absolutely.
I thought it was because they're really good baseball players.
Well, they are. They wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Yeah, you're right. And this young man, boy, did he tear it up when he started his career against the Rockies in this ballpark. Don't be fooled by the size. 5 home runs. He's got some pop. He can get the ball into the gap with it.
And you know what, George? Because I was talking to Phil Plantier, their co-hitting coach with Powell, Alonzo Powell, about him. You know, he obviously not very tall, so he's got short arms. He stands right on top of the plate, so he gets coverage on the outside corner.
The other thing is, too, he can get to the inside corner. You try to bust him in with a fastball, he'll get to it. You can't throw the ball by him. It's one of the first things I learned in baseball was from Jim Cott when I got to the big leagues. You see a guy crowding home plate, he wants you to throw it in. You automatically think he can't get to it. I'll throw this 92-mile-an-hour heater. There's no way. He's looking in. He's daring you to try to throw the ball by him. Same thing with the guy standing away from the plate. They're looking for the ball away.
Manship looking for a ground ball here. Here's the 1-1. He's got a ground ball. Helton wants a tag at second, and he'll get one. No, safe underneath the tag, according to Corey Blazer. And here comes Walt, and Walt's got a 3/4 jog going. That's as quick as I've seen Walt fire out of the dugout. Ball beat man. Usually man is out.
Let's look at the tag. I don't know if it's because the tag was high by Tulowitzki. The throw by Todd there had plenty of time. Well, you know what? The tag that wasn't applied till the foot had crossed the back. See Venable coming into it. He's thinking he's got to take somebody out. But I'll give you one more look at it right here on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can freeze that thing out front. So he foot's on the back. Then the tag applied.
Yeah, Troy probably needed to whip that thing down a little quicker. The tag. And instead it's Venable at second, 1 out. With Chase Headley at the plate. Chase 0 for 3 last night. Hitting .289 since the All-Star break. Battle of thumb injury. Still wears a pad on that thumb that kept him out of the first part of April. And he's had trouble duplicating the great numbers he had a year ago. On the ground to second. DJ's there, and that is out number 2.
Everybody wants to get tied up with velocity. And last night, Chacin was 85 to 89, touched 90 about 4 times, but had tremendous sink on his fastball. Manship's going to work 86 to 89, touch a 90 occasionally, but create good sink on the baseball to keep it on the ground. Last night, San Diego, 3 for what? For the last 55 at bats with runners in scoring position.
Oh yeah, well they're
and they only have 9 hits, by the way, this month with runners in scoring position, which is tied for last with Cincinnati, which surprised me.
Well, they're now 0 for 1 tonight with runners in scoring position. They're hitting below 108 in August with runners in scoring position. Yonder Alonso with a 1-0 count, and that streak will end. An RBI single for Alonso. And that play at second base looms large now.
I talked to Pedro Estacio an awful lot about the off-speed pitch when he was here. And later on, guys that had really good curveballs, you really got to keep your fingers. See that spin on the baseball is kind of a side 3/4 spin. That's because you let your fingers get outside the baseball, which causes the ball to flatten out and stay up. By staying on top of the baseball, you continue to have the 12-6 rotation or the hard slider rotation.
To short, and Tulowitzki will take it across the diamond, and Jed Jerko's retired. There were a couple of singles and a run for the Padres in the first against Jeff Manship. And the Rockies look to somewhat duplicate what they did last night. Anything close would be a good offensive evening. 14 runs, 18 hits last night for the Rockies if you look at Dexter Fowler. And Walt Weiss's Southwest batting order will feature DJ LeMahieu and Troy Tulowitzki among the top three. Then Willeen Rosario, he's swinging the bat well, and Nolan Arenado, another 4-hit night yesterday, his second career 4-hit night. He's got a 9-game hitting streak. Todd Helton hitting .340 against lefties. Charlie Culberson, Charlie Blackmon, and Jeff Manship.
Well, let's look at Mr. Eric Stoltz. The record 8-10. It's a little bit deceiving. 151 innings pitched. He does work deep into the ball games. His last road win came against the Colorado Rockies on June 8th, and it was a good one. He went out and went 7 innings, a couple of runs. Then later in the season on July 9th, 9 innings, 4 hits and a run. That was at San Diego. You see the arsenal here. He's not going to blow you away with stuff. He'll blow you away with command of 4 pitches. Looks like he's playing catch out on the mound. Before the All-Star break, 8-7 with an earned run average 340. After that, he's struggled a little bit, looking for his first win. 0-3 with a 4.01 earned run average.
And Dexter pulls it through the left side, a base hit for Fowler. The Rockies looking to figure out Mr. Stoltz. He's 2-0 against the Rockies this year in a 1.13 ERA. 3-0 career-wise against a club he pitched with briefly. DJ LeMahieu had another outstanding game both ways last night, including his second home run of the year, 4th career home run. And then he went oppo with his double to deep right center field. And this is a base hit. Triple shy of the cycle yesterday for LeMahieu.
With the off-speed Stoltz on the mound, the right side of the infield wide open. Yeah, the second baseman, Jerko, playing up the middle. Cedeno's over kind of straight up in the hole. But a guy that can really handle the bat, and DJ LeMahieu, that right side wide open for a shot through the infield.
How about this with Dexter's leadoff single there? In 9 offensive innings, Rockies obviously didn't have to hit in the 9th inning last night, up 14-1 at the time, 114-2. They've now had the leadoff man on in 7 of 9 innings. You should store some runs when you get the leadoff man on.
Last night in the 9th, after the rain delay, fun to watch. 6 runs scored, and it happened in a hurry. Oh, Bud Black a little disgusted with last night's ball game. You know, Buddy saw him this morning at the local Starbucks up on the 16th Street Mall. Good man. Pretty good manager, too. And it's being able to communicate with his players. He knows what his team is, tries to get the most out of it.
He's a steady hand. He's done a great job with San Diego through the years. Terrific guy. We've told you that many times when the Rockies hook up with the Padres. A lot of good guys in this NL West in terms of managers. Hit and run is on. That missed Dexter, and he'll go first to third. DJ found that opening on the right side, as he so often does. And you pointed it out. It was a little larger gap on that right side, and DJ with the base hit, first and third. Colorado got the crowd excited.
A guy that hits the ball to the right side the majority of the time, you just give him the opportunity to succeed on a slider that was down. Really nice job of hitting. Look at that bottom back elbow tuck to that inside to change the plane to the back of the swing and drive it through that right side. Boy, it's really shown well in the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl as Dexter scoots into third.
RBI opportunity for Tulowitzki. Troy in a little bit of a funk. He's just won for his last 24. A lot of times when hitters, George, go through the inevitable slumps, part of a baseball season for the greatest of players, they'll look early in a count to try to get something to drive, especially here. Fly ball gets the run in.
And even the great hitters that I was around in baseball would talk about pretend to hit and runs on, so you keep your hands back if you're jumping too quick or you're cheating on fastballs. Stoltz is not really a great guy to get out of a slump on because he throws 4 pitches and they're all varied speeds, but none of them hard. So as a hitter, you really got to sit and make yourself be very patient to get the baseball. Dexter did a good job of that when hitting at the plate.
3-0 on Tulowitzki with the baby bull on deck. Yeah, he's one of those guys that's often described as he gives you the comfortable collar. It's not an uncomfortable at bat, but it's hard to find the barrel. Especially this year, Stoltz has been the steadiest starter for San Diego. And Troy walks to load the bases. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. And Rosario coming up. Padres defense is brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Amarista in center field. Jeff Decker, Chris DeNorfia. Actually, it's not DeNorfia, it's Will Venable in the outfield with him. Headley, Ronnie Cedeno, Jed Jerko, Yonder Alonso, with Nick Hundley doing the catching.
27 RBIs for Rosario in 25 career games versus the San Diego Padres.
Is that any good?
It's kind of like Todd Helton against the Padres.
6-game hitting streak for Willeen, hitting 400. Back up the middle on through base hit. This will score 2. Willeen Rosario gives the Rockies a 2-1 lead. He had a 2-run single last night in the first inning. He now has 29 RBIs in his career in 24 games against San Diego.
And as a hitter, you try to get each milestone out of the way and look for the next one. He's now got 61 RBIs, so now you start focusing on that 70 number, then 80, 90, and keep going. And the way he's swinging the bat, it's not out of realm either. First pitch offering right back up the wickets for a base hit.
Just, you got to like the approach. Instead of getting real big there, George, and saying I'm going to hit one in the seats, Willeen, who has such great pop to all fields, and batting practice, it looks like a left-handed power hitter, driving balls out to right center field. Found a ball he could hit hard, and again, didn't try to do more than was necessary. Good result. First and second, nobody out. Nolan Arenado with 4 knocks last night. Quietly, Nolan has had a terrific freshman campaign. 94 hits, more than any other rookie in baseball. including that celebrated young guy out in Los Angeles. This is to center field. Amarista will lay out and get there.
Right now, Stoltz, everything's being hit hard. Liner out into center field. Amarista with a very good break onto the baseball, makes the catch. Watch this focus as the ball's coming in, knowing that he's still got a shot at it. Takes it right in the palm of the glove.
Rockies with 2 runs against Stoltz. That's what he gave up in his first 2 outings against Colorado this year in terms of earned runs. He's given up 3 runs total against the Rockies prior to tonight. Mentioned a moment ago, Todd's hitting .340 left on left this year, .240 against righties. Last few days he's incorporated a slightly open stance, and he told me before the game the reason he felt like he was blocking off his hip, getting past parallel of late. And he added, you know, right now at this point in his career, he said everything that I try, any subtle little difference, feels good for a few days.
It does, but it still comes down to his hand-eye coordination and what he does. He still takes balls down out of the dirt, and line drives them into the outfield, the opposite field work that he does. He hasn't recognized the last 2 offerings from Stoltz, 2 off-speed pitches.
Two to 1 Colorado. Tulowitzki at second, Rosario at first. Bottom of inning number 1. Amarista really swung over toward left center field.
Off-speed stuff or fastballs away, Helton takes to the opposite field. But if you mess up and you hang something in that inner part of the plate, he'll jerk it down the right field line because Venable's off the line.
He's off the line, a 40-yard dash. And Todd lines it in that direction. Tulowitzki cuts the bag at third. He'll come home. The throw goes in the direction of third. 3 to 1 Colorado. Todd Helton with his 38th RBI. Nice adjustment that Todd made on that off-speed delivery later on in the count, George.
Well, the good part about it was he recognized it was hung too. It came out of the hands of Stoltz. He wasn't going to give in and give him a fastball, but look at the location of the pitch too. About belt high, right out over the middle of the plate for Todd to wait to the backside, and then it's all hands and work for Todd. Out in front, jerked a line drive to right field. Well, you've seen it so many times, you just never get tired of seeing it. They said Helton, RBI Helton.
Charlie Culberson.
Well, Todd Helton with 2,490 hits now is tied with Fred McGriff. 5 behind Mickey Vernon.
The
Buddy
crime
Bell, man, I tell you.
The crime dog. I haven't mentioned the crime dog in a broadcast in a long time, huh? And a base hit for Culberson. Rosario gets a green light. Amarista's throw is not in time. And the Rockies continuing what they did yesterday against the Padres. It's 4 to 1. Still just 1 out here in the first inning.
Culberson with his 3rd RBI. Now, last night, Hines came into the game to pitch the ninth, gave up 6. He's left-handed. Here's the changeup to Culberson. You see a 3-finger circle change, and it went down in the zone and went out in a hurry to dead center field. I thought they may have a play because Amarista had to get to the ball in a hurry, and he did. And that late tail on the ball may have been flicked by Alonso at first, too.
Culberson had a pinch RBI single last night in a 6-run 8th inning after the rain delay.
You know, what's more amazing about the damage the Rockies are throwing out on this left-hander, they're 16-27 this year versus left-handed starters.
One strike on Blackman. Hilton at second, Culberson at first. Again, just 1 out. 4 runs in. Ronnie Cedeno will make the play. 2 outs. Here comes Jeff Manship as the Rockies have hit around in the opening frame. Who wants tacos? The Rockies are on their way. If the Rockies score 7 as they did yesterday, actually ×2 last night, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations between 4 and 6 the following day and get your Rockies Tacos special. I hope you did that earlier. Manship takes ball 1. Right now, Amarista, George, is playing Little League depth at center.
Well, you got a guy at the plate that hasn't swung the bat much. He's an American League pitcher. He doesn't have a hit at the big league level yet. So there's a lot of reasons to be that short. Right field, much of the same.
Two O's in there, 2-1. Walt last night in the 8th inning forced to use Chad Bettis as a pinch hitter. Manship grounds out, but the Rockies hit around in the bottom of the 1st inning. They score 4 times. Dexter Fowler got it started. DJ LeMahieu, 2-run single Rosario, and the elder statesman with an RBI hit. That opening frame, Jeff Decker will lead things off for the Padres in inning number 2. Tonight's sideline report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And let's check in again with Mark Stout. Mark?
All right, guys, last night, hour 3-minute rain delay in the 8th inning. Mark Rasen, his grounds crew, did a great job. Another thing that you forget about is the rosin bag. This is a rosin bag from last night. It is still wet, still damp. Hunter, the bat boy, it's his job to make the rosin bag. There's Hunter. The rosin comes in crystal form. He puts it into a sock, bangs the sock against the wall, pulverizes it into a powder. It comes from Toms River, New Jersey. He had to do that a couple, 3 times last night because of the wet weather. And he told me that if it's sunny out, the rosin bag could last an entire month. But with the wet weather we had last night, this comes out damp, so he had to make some new ones. And since there's a little threat of rain, he did some work earlier today, too, with some more rosin bags, guys.
Do you mind, can Hunter send up a small rosin bag, because Frazier is having trouble holding onto his pencil tonight?
I thought it was the Cracker Jacks in the 7th.
Frazier, you want to get rosin bag up there?
Now, you know what? I'm a rock rosin guy. The yellow rosin that the violinists use. It's a little stickier.
A 4-pitch walk to lead off the 2nd inning to Jeff Decker. Decker to first. And that'll bring up the expectant father for the first time, Nick Hundley. His wife is due any day. He has an escape plan, and if the baby doesn't arrive prior to Saturday, they'll induce on Saturday. And Hundley takes a strike.
Well, that's when all the pressure starts, because then you tell your newborn son or daughter, you'll go get a hit for him tonight. And then you're 0 for 3 and you got 1 at bat to go.
See, that's a beautiful thing, as you know, George, of fatherhood. Kids don't care whether you got a hit or not.
And typically, you're right. He didn't go around on that.
1 ball, 1 strike.
My house is want to know if the waffles and the bacon's cooked yet.
Exactly. The acorn doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, and at your house, they want to know if you got yogurt back yet.
No, they're more in line with how you eat.
Yeah, that's right. Get him turning the corner.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Manship. San Antonio, Texas, where in high school he threw 4 no-hitters in a perfect game at Ronald Reagan High School in San Antonio. Drafted by the Diamondbacks in the 50th round.
And a lot of times when you ask guys, Troy Tulowitzki not drafted out of high school, you just tell people, you know what, I want to go to college. Save your draft pick. Not going. Not going to sign. It's going to take too much money or whatever it is. I want to go to college. And that can happen with a lot of guys. You mentioned the 4 no-hitters, perfect games, all those things. You may have told people, hey, I want this certain amount of money, and if they don't think you're worth it, off to college you go.
Hundley drives this ball to deep left field, and it's gone. And now it's a 4-3 ball game. Nick Hundley with his 9th of the year. Now you can tell his son or daughter, Daddy hit a home run for you the day or 2 before you were born. Nick was just 1 for 20 prior to that swing.
Let's take a look at this pitch coming out of the hand. Fastball trying to run the sinker. Just started to sink down into the zone. You saw that on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Started out about the thigh, working it to the knee. You'd like to be at the knee and work down to keep the ball on the ground. This one gets elevated out of the park.
Ronnie Cedeno pops up the first pitch. DJ LeMahieu in foul ground will make the play. 1 out.
Getting back on the angle easier for DJ than Todd. And DJ got over there and then just started to feel that gravel. That's why he took the slide, I think, or otherwise he continues on. Didn't really recognize where he was as far as running into that wall. Slammed the brakes on. Outs and out.
Eric Stoltz had a guy with the Padres organization who hasn't seen DJ that much say, hey, did he just play great defense last night, or is he a real good defender? Stoltz with a base hit to center field. As to know, he's a really good defender.
The thing that I heard early on in his career in the Cub organization was the range is limited, but if he gets a glove on it, he catches it. Well, he's worked really hard on that first step up the middle to the glove side also. Gets to a lot of baseballs. The other side of it is he's behind the pitching staff that's throwing the ball where they're playing defensively. So it helps you cheat, get a couple of steps on the ball, and make plays.
Well, a couple of those double plays he started last night, George, were beyond routine. In fact, I think you're going to see one of them right here, which was just fabulous, that play.
Well, the flexibility for a guy that size, you know, that's the thing about it. From the knees, upside down, snapping balls, making them on the throws, avoiding base runners. He's done it all.
Actually, that first one was from Pittsburgh. That's a great package. All of those plays in the last couple of days. One and one on Will Venable. Will a base hit to start the game. He had a double last night to start the game. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. Will grew up around the game with his dad Max, a former big leaguer and then longtime coach in the professional ranks.
Is he still coaching? I thought he quit a couple of years ago. He was a AAA hitting coach for a long time.
For a long time in the Padres organization, and then I know last year he stayed away and he watched, took the year off, watched Will play, watched his brother try to make it in the NFL. His brother was an outstanding safety at Boise State. 2-2. Will's another one of those guys that's going to have a busy off season. We're talking about Nick Huntley and his wife giving birth. Will's getting married in the off season. Princeton grad. Three and two. Well, education was stressed in the Manship household as well. Talking about Manship going to Notre Dame, his brother Matt was a relief pitcher at Stanford. And this ball is pulled to right, and it's going to get into that corner. Blackman has trouble picking it up, and the tying run's going to score, and Venables to third with a triple. Well, the Rockies' 3-run advantage is all gone very quickly in the top of the second. It's now 4-4. Venable with his 38th RBI.
Didn't sound like it was hit that hard at the very beginning when it left the bat. That was off the end of the bat bloop, but he's a pretty strong man. Had some good bat speed coming through. That's what got the ball out there to this corner. And quite honestly, when Charlie went after this baseball, he tried to backhand right there, missed. That bought a little bit more time for Eric Stoltz to come around and score and tie the ball game. I think he's going to get there anyway, but maybe a little better chance of it if fielded cleanly right off the bat. Tough play when you get into that corner, though.
Infield in a 4-4 game, 1 out. Alexi Amarista, who grounded to Helton his first time. Inside. Amarista, versatile guy, can play the infield and the outfield. Most of his starts have come in center field. And look out. And that base hit, I don't know if that grazed Manship or not, but it gives the Padres a 5-4 lead.
It may not have grazed him, but as a pitcher, you feel like it went through you. I mean, it's just got on you so quickly. and right at them. There's no movement down in the Rockies bullpen at this time. Jim Wright's already been out to visit once. There's that line shot. Right back out of the middle, right up the middle. Manship able to duck his head and get out of the way.
Chase Headley. And a strike on Headley. And another strike. Well, Dougie's found Will's dad. And now it comes back to me. Will had mentioned this earlier. Max is the hitting coach for, let's just say, George, he's a hitting coach for a team in South Korea.
What's the name of it?
The Ski Wyverns.
The what?
Exactly. The SK Wyverns.
You know, there's
what
a lot
do you
of
think? We go with that, Dougie?
A lot of former major leaguers are going over there and being coaches, pitching coaches, hitting coaches. They pay pretty good money. You get to work with a lot of talent.
Oh, 2's outside, 1-2 on Headley.
Eleven hits, 9 runs. There hadn't been an error yet. Top of the second. A little old-fashioned Coors Field going on here. Not the long ball. It's a lot of base hits. There's been 1 home run. Hundley hit that out, a 2-run shot, but a lot of line drives.
Ronnie Cedeno, the only out in the inning. Pop to LeMahieu in foul ground. Runner going, throw by Rosario is into center field. Tulowitzki wasn't able to make the catch, and Amarista will pick himself up and go to third. Amarista with just his second stolen base.
See when this throw from Moline came, how short it was or on the money. It looked like it was on the money, just on the other side of the bag. Tulowitzki anticipated the ball staying straight, faded away from him off the end of the glove. See that on the Mike Shaw Subaru. Ball would have beat him. Instead, the ball's in center field and the runner at third, and still just 1 out. A 3-2 count with their RBI guy at the plate.
Smoke to LeMahieu. He'll hold Amarista. It gets Headley at first. Yeah, that throw by Moline wasn't a bad throw.
Unfortunately, they'll get charged with an error. His 8.
2 outs. Yonder Alonso coming up. In the 5th inning, we'll do Toyota Talk. We do it every day. Text your questions or text Toyota followed by your questions to 720-720. Alonso an RBI single to right. And this is to Troy. He's got it. In the inning, the Padres score 4 times to take a 5-4 lead in the middle of the second. At this pace, it's going to be 65-64 in the ninth. Well, maybe not. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC.
You know what? I'm going to hold judgment till after this half. You may be close.
Rockies hit around for the 4th time on this homestand in the first inning. So here's Dexter again against Eric Stoltz. Slow hook, and it's popped up in the neighborhood of Jed Jerko, and Venable will come on and call him off, make the catch. 1 out. That'll bring up DJ LeMahieu, who singled to right an inning ago. Rockies 11-3 against the Padres this year. And 2-strike count on LeMahieu.
MLB.com app is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At-Bat delivers Rockies baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and a whole lot more.
One and 2 on LeMahieu. 2-2. Eric Stoltz became a Padre on May the 19th of last year. He's made 38 starts since then, with a 16-13 record and a .330 ERA. It's the lowest ERA for any Padre starter since the beginning of last year. Padres overall 22-16 in the starts. He's been a godsend for Bud Black.
Well, when you have Clayton Richard, who throws the ball hard, Volquez throws the ball hard, you insert this into the middle, and then another hard thrower comes. Even though it's 24-hour separation, it's left versus right. For the most part of it, some of this can work in your favor.
That ends up going into short center field. But DJ with another hit. That was an equal opportunity bouncer, George. Everybody in the infield, it seemed like, had an equal opportunity to field it.
Everybody playing up the middle, off the glove of the pitcher Stoltz, off the bare hand, past the glove of Cedeno. Take him any way you can. That'll equal out a lot of those line drives. Tell you that right now.
I thought for a second Corey Blazer was going to field it. That's not allowed, though, is it?
Well, it is, but then there, be kind of a dead ball situation after that. But he could explain to everybody, I've always wanted to field a soft ground ball up the middle.
That was one that he could field.
I thought I could
with
handle
the bare hands.
Right.
Yeah. Here's Tulowitzki, and he gets a curveball for a strike. Troy hits a high fly ball to deep left center field. Just missed it. Decker makes the catch. And there's 2 outs. It had that sound, but missed it by a grain or 2.
I know there's some frustrations in there, but Troy been able to contain it outwardly, but eating a hole on him inwardly that the success hadn't been what he wanted in July.
It's got to be just around the corner, you would figure. Rosario, a 2-run single in the first, got the average now to 284 with 61 ribbies. On the inside corner, first strike. Williams now got a 7-game hitting streak, 11 for his last 26. Home run and 9 ribbies during that 7-gamer. And Willeen drives this ball to center field, and Amarista gets there. Instead of flipping it to a fan, he flips it to a teammate in the bullpen. Whatever works. 5-4 San Diego. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a truck, it's an F-150, and it's built Ford tough. By Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Wells Fargo, get a 2-for-1 annual ski pass, good at Winter Park and Copper Mountain, just by opening a new Wells Fargo checking package. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC, and by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Pretty night at Coors Field with some late afternoon rain. Not enough that it would cancel batting practice. It was kind of when the Rockies were finishing up and the Padres were starting to stretch and head out there for their BP. We go to the top of the third inning. Jeff Manship needs a quick and quiet inning. Gave up a run in the first and then 4 in the second. Jed Jerko at the plate. He grounded to short his first time. Here's the 1-0. Manship's sinker is fouled off. Jeff, his freshman year at Notre Dame, didn't get to pitch much. He underwent Tommy John surgery. This ball's well hit right center field. This is gone. This is where Jerko went deep yesterday. That's off the back wall of the bullpen. And it is 6-4 San Diego. Jerko with his 12th home run of the year.
Manship finding out pretty quick at the big league level again, you can't get a ball up in the zone and expect to keep the ball on the ground. That ball elevated. This is not a big guy at Jerko. This is a guy that has a short compact swing, a very short compact body, and a lot of power right behind it. He gives the Padres a 2-run lead with this shot into right center field. Typically the ball will carry at Coors Field into right center. You got a little breeze going that way tonight.
Adam Ottavino's now up in the Rockies' pen. Jerko with that home run, second among rookies in home runs. Evan Gattis of the Braves with 15, then Jerko with 12. Yasiel Puig has 11, and then 3 with 9, including Nolan Arenado. LeMahieu. Decker is thrown out. One out. Nick Hundley coming up, and let's pay a visit to Mark Stout again. Mark.
All right, Jerry, you were talking about Jeff Manship going to Notre Dame. Let's get you our Coors Light cold hard facts. It's about the Golden Domers in the big leagues. There have been 73 alums of Notre Dame in the bigs. A couple of Hall of Famers. Cap Anson, he was in the first Hall of Fame class, and Yaz Carl Yastrzemski only went there 1 year playing basketball and baseball, and that was part of the Red Sox, of course. And there's Brad Lidge, who we know went to Cherry Creek, and I was wondering if you guys know what Brad Lidge has been up to lately.
Brad lives in the state, and he was in Philadelphia for an official retirement. Wasn't he, Dougie, about a week ago? I think I read something. He signed one of those one-day contracts to retire as a Philadelphia Phil, former Cherry Creek standout.
I never got all that one-day thing. I mean, you just go there and they have you retired, you're done.
Yeah,
why you got to sign a contract for 1 day?
Will it say it somewhere on the back of your baseball card that your last team was the Phillies? I don't know.
I don't know why you would do it. I mean, I think Eric Young Sr. did that here for 1 day and then said adios. I don't know why you do it.
Unless they pay you a lot of money for that 1 day.
Just say, see ya.
Ronnie Cedeno was with Houston a good portion of this year. He was released the latter part of July, and then signed by San Diego in the event that Everett Cabrera got suspended. He did get suspended. Ronnie Cedeno was called back to the big leagues. 2-1 on Ronnie. Played for a bunch of teams, including the Cubs, the Mariners, the Pirates, the Mets.
Yeah, more of a babysitter now for a lot of young shortstops, but he was a everyday, very accomplished shortstop early in his career. He was an everyday guy.
Three-1 on Cedeno, and that's ball 4. Eric Stoltz coming up. And Stoltz, it's first pitch to second, and that's all for the Padres in the third. They do tack on another run. Jed Jerko with the home run to right center field, and the Padres lead at 6-4, middle of 3. but they trail by a couple right now. On the latest updates from Root Sports, text alerts to 720-720 and receive text message updates throughout the campaign. Nolan Arenado in the third inning will be first against Eric Stoltz. Then Hilton and Culberson.
Fantasy camper, look right there. There it is, right there. Oh.
No, he's not a fantasy camper,
No,
George Stoltz.
the guy in the stands, I saw it right on his sleeve there. There it is, right there. See, fantasy camper, Colorado Rockies. There he is.
There he is. We know that.
Got the hat on, got the whole deal working. What a fun time. That's going to be February 5th through the 9th this year. Rumor has it Josh Fogg may be coming along with Kevin Ritz, Jason Jennings. Have a fun time down there, and I'll collect all your money at Kangaroo Court.
You're funny at Kangaroo Court, but you're a little heavy with the fines.
Only on the people I know that can pay them, Drew.
I don't owe you anything.
I never get you for anything. I'll let you
No,
go
you got me a lot
easy.
last year.
Well, you deserved it.
Probably.
Ask all the campers. You know, I came the other day, Saturday morning, they had their game. Was it Saturday morning? Yeah, they had the game here.
Saturday morning, yeah.
Yeah, I had the game here at the ballpark.
This ball, if it's fair, it's gone. It's a twisting foul ball.
You know what? And so they had the game at 9 o'clock in the morning, and all of them were here, so I walked into the locker room. And before I could say a word, every one of them said, I know, we're fined $1 for showing up. I said, exactly.
Right? They know your routine. Arenado robbed of a hit his first time up. Dive and catch in center by Amarista. 1-2. Nolan's handled himself well. Came up and immediately inserted into the starting lineup, and he's rarely missed a day since. And he's played like he belongs without question. I use the word played as opposed to acts because he is very respectful, as I think, George, you tell people this, most rookies should be. Walk around with your ears wide open and your mouth closed. Nolan's such a likable guy. He's worked hard.
Well, I think it helped too that he was stayed with Tulowitzki the last couple of springs. Kind of told how to do things, how to act, how to carry yourself.
2-2.
A lot of things, and then when he got up here, he was prepared for all of that. Good for him.
And that's served to right, a base hit. Nice piece of hitting for Arenado. On a changeup, he was out on his front side, but kept the hands back. Knocked it into right field.
After pounding him in, pulling the ball deep to the other side, they wanted to go off speed away. Really did a nice job. He's fooled by the pitch, but the hands stay back enough to shoot it to right field. Now watch where that front lead stride goes. See, everything's out front on the front foot. The back foot slides in behind that front stride. It really helps you keep the bat in the direction of the baseball.
10-game hitting streak now for Nolan, hitting .429 during that stretch.
See, he went off speed to Todd earlier. And then he hung that slider to Todd on the inner half of the plate. And he hit it to base hit to right field, drove in a run, his 38th. Now he's gone hard away and then threw the fastball up and in. But Todd's not going to chase up there.
Todd with the ribby in the first inning. Now tied with Joe Medwick for 76th on the all-time list. Dwight Dewey Evans next up. You know what? Mark taught me something tonight, and you always learn something new from Mark on Yaz. George, your old combatant.
Uh-huh.
I did not know. I knew Yaz was from Southampton, New York, way out on the island where all the real wealthy folks live now. And did you know that, Mark? That he was from?
Yeah, I knew he was from New York. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know he went to Notre Dame though, and I didn't know he was a basketball player there briefly.
He set records in New York his senior year for points, like over 1,000 points in his high school basketball career. So they recruited him for basketball. He was only there for 1 year though, and then the Red Sox got to him.
You think he made the right decision?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you don't know. He never played, basketball long enough in the NBA.
I saw the number 8 at Fenway hanging up.
Probably saw number 8 hanging at the Hall of Fame too.
True. Yeah.
That's one of the great baseball nicknames, don't you think, of all time? There's some great ones too, but Yaz.
You like that?
I like that. 2-2 on Todd. Fouls that one off. How many times throughout his career have you either thought, felt, or said, I know we've said it a bunch, once he gets to 2 strikes, that's when the at-bat starts?
You said an awful lot about Wade Boggs, George Brett, Dante Bichette. Dante Bichette, one of the best 2-strike hitters you've seen around. Guys start to nibble, he just fouls off till you make a mistake. They did it in the first at bat.
And Todd works out a walk. Great at bat for Hilton. Had a veteran pitcher. I mean, a guy, George, has had a lot of success in this game. And he's well into his mid-30s, shall we say. Leave his name out of this. But he told me that Hilton, of the guys on the Rockies, and you have 3 all-stars in the middle of the lineup. Kadyr's having a great year. Cargo's on the DL, but Cargo's had a fabulous year. Troy's struggling right now, but the first few months of the season was on an MVP type of pace. And he said still day in and day out, at bat to at bat, Hilton gives you the toughest AB.
Well, just go back and look and see how many times and what the Rockies record is when he's in the lineup on a daily basis. I'll guarantee you this year it's a little better. The ping pong ball went loose in the middle of that dugout.
Charlie getting more comfortable. 1 for his first 16, and now 5 for his last 12. And another base hit. Arenado is going to get a late stop sign. Stu Cole kind of ran down with him, reading the throw. And Stu applied the brakes for Arenado, so the bases are loaded for Blackman.
Well, let's take a look at it. Culberson is getting more comfortable. As you watched him at the AAA level, used all parts of the field. He does a pretty good job here too. That back elbow drop, changed the plane of the bat. And then you see Arenado when the ball's down right here, coming into third base. Stu holding him up. You're down 2.
Bases loaded, nobody out.
this year, the Rockies have hit .306 as a team with the bases loaded. Charlie Blackmon on the year is 0 for 2.
Manship has given up 6 runs in 3 innings, George. A run in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third. Depending on what Blackmon does, would you go to the bench?
Well, that's the only thing. A pretty short bench. But you got to take your shots when you can take your shot, even if it's the 3rd inning. Unless you feel confident at some point you'll be back in the same position as a manager. Ottavino was warmed up the previous inning. Charlie got a hanger, took a hack, didn't get what he wanted. Stopper, the right-hander, former starter, former #1 pick for San Diego, has started to throw in their bullpen.
(0-2), and this is in the air to Amarista in shallow center, and Arenado's got to stay put. Manship will hit.
Camarena Loft, located in center field, is a great option for your group. Individual tickets are available on select dates as well, so make sure you check into the Camarena Loft.
Lefties have hit just 178 against Stoltz. And in fairness to Charlie Blackmon, if Kadire was not sick with that stomach flu, and Michael, as we said earlier, feeling a lot better, but still pretty weak, you'd have that extra right-handed bat. Of course, Michael hits the middle of the lineup, and one less left-hander that you'd have facing a guy like Stoltz. 1-0 on Manship. And this is a double play ball. They're going to get out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Stoltz does not give up a run. 6-4 Padres. Bottom of the first inning, the Rockies trailing 1-0, not for long. Bases loaded, 2-run single, Willeen Rosario. Todd Helton later in the inning. Line drive, base hit, that drove home a run. Charlie Culberson. Field, Rosario would scoot home. In the second inning, Will Venable with an RBI triple. Part of a 4-run second inning. Amarista with a bullet to center field. And then Jed Jerko in the third inning with his second home run of the series. Padres have a 6-4 lead as we go to the top of the fourth. That look back brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address now open in Greenwood Village. Beautiful new facility. Will Venable up for the third time here in the top of the fourth inning. A single and a triple for Venable. DJ did a nice job cutting that ball off before it got into right field. 1 out. That'll bring up Amarista. Fastball at the top of the zone for a strike.
And all you can do on this is just try to turn this thing in as much as you can and just keep it going as a basically you're looking at nothing more than I've said this before, an American League start. You've given up six runs. You need to try to get as deep into this game as you can. You got 2 quick outs here.
Two outs. Chase Headley takes a strike on the outside corner. It's a changeup. Headley is grounded twice to LeMahieu. That was the best curveball we've seen tonight from Jeff Manship.
Because look where the hand is on top of this baseball. See how far he was up on top of it? Look at the rotation. It gives it a chance to have the bite on the baseball.
One and two on Headley. Where's that? Todd Tishner thought it was outside. It's close.
What I'm talking about, folks, you're sitting at home right now. If you take the curveball, think about 90. So now your fingers, you can see my fingers up on top of the baseball. There's a hard ground ball to Todd. But if you have a tendency to come out and get off to the side of it and don't have your fingers on top and you're pulling around, that's when the ball's just going to spin at Coors Field. That last one, boy, he really got up on top. You saw those fingers rotate over the top of the baseball, the thumb come off, and it came straight down and had a great break on the baseball. Rockies trailing 6-4.
Out from Coors Field. Glad you're along on Root Sports this evening. Auto glass damage, call Safe Light Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Dexter Fowler, DJ LeMahieu, and Troy Tulowitzki here in inning number 4 against Eric Stoltz. 4 in the first for the Rockies. They had a base hit in the second, loaded the bases with nobody out in the third, could not score. 1-0 on Dex, who's had a base hit and a fly ball to shallow right. Curveball misses. 2-0. Dex in 11 games against San Diego this year, hitting .456, including 4 home runs. It's a 3-0. Ball almost cut out of the strike zone. And another walk for Fowler. So Dexter reaches in front of DJ LeMahieu. Have I told you lately I'm amazed how often Dexter walks?
We've discussed it a lot, but last night was one of those special nights again where Dexter, when he got, leading off the ball game last night, a base hit, walk, base hit, and a double. Mix in a line shot to shortstop on top of that. Pretty good night.
Got an injury. Scotty Garrett's going out. I think Dex has something in his eye. Dex has one of the highest walk rates in the National League. DJ's 2 for 2. And it's on the ground at third. There's one, and they turned over. 5-4-3.
Second double play of the ball game that's bailed him out of a big situation. The last was to end the third with the bases loaded. This to kill a little bit of a rally. What happened going to the Rockies here in the fourth.
That brings up Troy. Tulowitzki 0 for 1 and a walk, scored a run. We're at Coors Field once again. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout. 6-4 San Diego. Rockies have won 4 consecutive games. Their best run since a very good April.
The thing about Eric Stoltz, he's been around a while. So what he's doing right now, 67-mile-an-hour curveballs, 88-mile-an-hour fastball out of the zone, slider at 72 miles an hour, then here's a cutter at 81. He's really just trying to mix speeds and work his way through 5 innings in this ball game.
Troy liked that pitch and fouled it off, and that's what happens, George, as you well know, when you're just a little bit off the pitches that you think you can drive, you end up fouling off.
And a lot of off-speed stuff. I mean, right now when you're in a slump, unfortunately, you got everybody under the sun telling you how to get out of it.
Eric Stoltz played at Bethel College in Indiana, and his head coach was Mike Hutchin there. Well, Mike's now the head coach at Colorado Christian. Mike's in attendance tonight. 2-2. Six games, 12 innings pitched with the Rockies a couple of years ago. He's now to home in San Diego. 2-2. Really slow hook. 68 miles an hour on that one. Next pitch will be number 75, 3-2 count. With 2 outs and nobody on Tulowitzki.
Looking at Tom Tishner and then behind the plate, Todd Tishner, and he just made a comment and go, wow, make a pitch like this. I want to get a call like that.
back up the middle, a base hit. High fastball. And Troy's so good at hitting that high fastball. Probably out of the strike zone, but he gets on top of it for a base hit with 2 outs.
Coming right now with the fastball after off-speed stuff away, but he got it elevated, not down where they wanted it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You'll see it jammed a little bit on Tulowitzki, out of the reach of Jerko at second base. So with 2 outs, a chance with 1 swing and Rosario to tie this thing up.
Moline, the 2-run single in the first, and a fly ball to center field. Remember, Georgie, we mentioned that Eric pitched a year in Japan also.
Yeah, I mentioned that early in the telecast that he went over to Japan, and that's when he came back and joined the Rockies after being over there for a year. For guys like him that had a little bit of a touch in the big leagues, AAA, he can make good money over there.
2-0. This ball to center field. Amarista coming hard. He'll get there. And that's all for the Rockies in the 4th inning. A walk, a hit, 1 man left, 6-4 San Diego. Jeff Manship will face Yonder Alonso, Jed Jerko, Jeff Decker. It's our Twitter Talk inning. Let's see what you have in store for us with questions. Manship worked a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning.
Well, I'll say this for him, after getting blistered pretty good in the second, at least he's given an opportunity. You know, try to shut some things down here and give the Rockies a chance. Hadn't blown up the bullpen yet. Ottavino was up back in the 3rd inning. He'll try to work through this 5th. He's got some lefties coming.
One and one. First question of the night. So what does DJ stand for in LeMahieu's name? Dennis James. No, I got to look it up actually. I can't remember. David John. All right, for those that think it's David John, dial yes to 720-720 or text yes. And for those that think it's Dennis James, never mind. It's David John. I bet you he's been I got to ask him. I bet you he's been DJ since he could crawl.
Probably. The only time he was David John was when it was David John.
Get your.
How many times am I going to have to tell you? Not many. I'm done. I'll be right there.
Last time I was in Tulsa, I remember we were out on the back porch and Kay yelled in, "George Frazier, you get in here now."
No, it was George Allen.
George Allen.
Yeah,
it was
he
all
drops that
three,
one.
right? Yeah, then it's time, huh?
Yeah, the middle name pops in. You're ready.
This is toward the middle of the diamond. Oh, David John cut it out. Yonder Alonso robbed of a hit.
Well, ranging all the way up the middle, ball not hit real hard. Right off the end of his bat, caught a little bit of the mound to knock it down, but yet a good play by DJ. Goes out on the backhand, stays balanced. Very accurate throw over to Todd Helton. And what a comforting thing it is to have Todd at first as an infielder. Knowing you get it around the bag, he's going to pretty much keep it in the leather. Yeah, well, we're talking about a year ago, a couple of years ago, Dougie looked it up. 65 picks in the dirt that resulted in an out. That was not near as difficult as what he's had in the past.
Who are the most notable players from the Ivy League? Eric, a Dartmouth grad in 2007. It seems like there's more and more Ivy League players in baseball. Will Venable out in right field, we were talking about, and that's probably what prompted your question. Chris Young, who was, I think most recently, George, wasn't he with the Mets last time we saw him? Former Padre.
Lou Gehrig was pretty good.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig out of Columbia. Russ Ohlendorf is out of Princeton as well. Brad Ausmus, who's now in the front office with the Padres. Is Brad working in the front office, or am I thinking of Mark Loretta? Or Brad working there also?
They might both be there.
I think they're both there. We'll double check that. Brad went to Dartmouth. Mark DeRosa, who's had a very good career and a long career, was a quarterback in football and on the baseball team at Penn. Doug Glanville, who you see on ESPN, is a Penn grad. There's others, though. Who were we just talking to? Another kid from Dartmouth on the road trip.
Who's the big, tall right-hander that went for the Mets? 6'10" guy. Chris
Young. Yeah, I mentioned Chris Young a moment ago. Yep. There's somebody on that last road trip, Doug, that we saw just
Atlanta,
came to the big leagues, either in Pittsburgh or
New York.
And I want to say he went to Dartmouth. They're around, to answer your question.
Ed Lucas from the Marlins.
Ed Lucas from the Marlins. Doug, wasn't the last road trip. It was the last homestand. It's the next road trip, Doug. Look ahead. Ed Lucas, who's been in the minor leagues for a long time, 31-year-old, plays first and third. Lucas went to Dartmouth. Was a
and I
three-year
can't take
captain,
credit for that.
Three-year All-Ivy player.
Mark, put your hand in there and I'll high-five you. Stout had that one.
Jeff Decker at the plate. Nice, that a baby, Mark. Jeff Decker at the plate got his first big league hit last night. It was a home run. This to center field. That's his second big league hit. And to finish the story, he hit it into the seats, which often happens when you hit a home run, right? He got the baseball because he knows Manny Corpus, and Manny tracked it down and was able to trade something out for the fan and got the baseball for Jeff Decker.
Ottavino's going to mosey over to the mound again. He's already warmed up once, so it shouldn't take very long for him to get ready. As this lineup works its way down to Hundley, Cedeno, and then Stoltz.
Decker also the 11th Padre all time to have his first hit be a home run. That happens a lot more than you think, where the first hit's a bomb.
How many times has it happened?
In the history of the big leagues?
Yeah.
Don't do that to him. You look at me, but then you look at him.
He's looking like he's got it.
Yasmani Grandal is hurt right now. First big league hit was a home run. Right center field. Dexter tracks it down, and Hundley's retired. Middle of inning number 5. The Rockies trailing the Padres 6-4. Rockies will have Nolan Arenado to lead things off against Eric Stoltz. AT&T trivia question. This is what we were talking about last night. Jeff Decker got his first big league hit. It was a home run. 11 times it's happened for the Padres. 6 times a Rockies homered for their first major league hit. How many of those players can you name?
Was any of them a pitcher?
Maybe.
Enticing them to look deeper, Doug.
Nolan Arenado stays on this fastball, and he lines it past Amarista all the way to the wall. And Arenado heading to third. Here's the throw. Head first slide. Triple for Nolan Arenado. His third big league triple. That's the danger of playing shallow.
Well, in trying to go cut the ball off, he didn't take the right angle on the ball. He came straight in and across, thinking that he could go ahead and get to this baseball. I mean, the ball's down and away. It's not a bad pitch by Stoltz, but you're shallow, so now you cut across, and the ball's hit hard. Now you just got to chase it down. Arenado's got to be thinking triple once it left the bat. When he got to second, really started to think about it, looking over the shoulder to see if he's going to have a play on him. You can see it's too cold, tell him to hit the dirt.
Well, pops it up. Cedeno in short left, 1 out.
Tell you what, Stoltz gets out of this deal without a run. He is Houdini. Bases loaded, 1 out, double play.
Well, we thank you again for texting in your questions during Toyota Talk. Go to our Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Tracy Ringlesby will answer a bonus Toyota question.
Why does he get to answer all the questions? How come like Dougie doesn't get to answer them every now and then?
Dougie kind of is answering a lot of these, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, I mean answering online, back to the fans of the extra questions. Tracy likes to interact.
Here's Culberson. Infield back, up 2 runs, conceding the Rockies' 5th run.
Well, you'd like to get the outs while you're doing it. You'd rather be up 1 and then all of a sudden you're playing in and the ball gets into the gap. Now you got a man on second, scoring position again. You'd rather just stay back, expand your range and opportunity to get the out.
2-0 on Charlie. Culberson a single in the 1st that drove in a run, a single in the 3rd. Base hit last night off the bench. And this will get the job done, and maybe more. Deep left center field. Decker gets there, and Arenado will jog in with the Rockies' 5th run. Culberson with his 2nd RBI of the night, and it's a 6-5 affair. Michael Kadire around the bat rack. He's going to come out in the on-deck circle. Blackman hitting here.
By the way, Drew, when the trivia answer comes up, I have it for you.
Strike on Blackman.
Stauffer was warming up in their bullpen. He still is. Ottavino has walked away from the Rockies mound.
Look
Look
out.
out. Ooh.
One and 2 on Culberson. Excuse me, on Blackman. Culberson with the sac fly. Can't put both Charlies next to each other. It's just very confusing. Oh, by the way, George, Brad Ausmus is a special assistant for the Padres in their front office. They have Trevor Hoffman, Mark Loretta, Brad Ausmus.
All good big baseball men.
There's a base hit to center field.
Yeah, right now, I tell you, I will promise you, Bud Black doing everything in his powers to be able to get Stoltz through this ball game in this inning in order to qualify for a win. But there's 2 outs in the 5th. The right-handed Stauffer's warming up, and Bud Black's going to make a move.
I think as much as anything, Walt forced this move by playing his biggest bench chip here in the 5th inning. (6-5) as Stoltz departs. 1 on, 2 outs. Kadire when we come back. By the Honey Smoked Fish Company, ready to eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. By the Colorado Lottery, don't forget to play. And by Jeep, visit Jeep.com to learn more. Michael Kadire at home the last couple of days, battling a stomach flu. A lot better today, though he didn't eat for about 36 hours. Lost about half a dozen pounds. And he'll be on with 2 outs, pinch hitting for Jeff Manship. And he'll be facing Tim Stoffer.
Right-handed former #1, former starter for their ball club, and has had numerous arm injuries and come back from it. Now working out of their bullpen. 45 1/3 innings so far for him on the season. Kadire in his career is 2 for 5 with a home run against this young man.
Rockies have 11 hits. And that's a strike. So it's 0-2 on Kadire. Painted the outside corner twice. Blackman at first. He just singled. Two-strike count on Kadire.
Stopper's velocity peaked back up a little bit. That was 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Early, when signed out of college, it was 92, 95. I mean, he had some exceptional stuff. Keeping everything away from Kadire and up and out of the strike zone.
Identical foul balls. That'll end the inning. The Rockies get a run. Nolan Arenado triples, brought home by Culberson. 6-5 San Diego.
Rockies Dominican Academy in Boca Chica in the DR. It just opened up last week. New weight training room. They've got cages, the field. It is a impressive academy that was $6 million in the making and just opened last week. And classrooms, that is an important part of this new academy. And the Rockies are very proud. It opened up last week. And the senior director of international scouting is Rolando Fernandez. He kind of explains the entire academy. Well, the key thing about the academy, guys, is that it's going to educate as well. So some of the players will have a little bit more education before they get to the States.
And Mark, that's huge because so many guys come to the United States. I know when Parker was in the minor league system, a lot of times guys like Nicasio would go eat dinner with him. And Parker spoke enough Spanish, he could order his breakfast and lunch. Think about that. You're going to go in and point at pictures at Denny's hoping you get what you point at. It's kind of a tough way to get through it. So the educational part of this is huge in my opinion.
You know, that academy is just a beautiful state-of-the-art facility, and it helps out in the process down there. It's not drafted down there. You're you know, it's recruiting, if you will, free agent kids. That's what they are. Teenagers, 2-1 once they turn 16. There's a base hit for Cedeno. Well, let's go and hear that bite from Rolando Fernandez on the new facility at Boca Chica.
Our goal and our vision is making sure that we put this facility to work and to work the right way. I think this is going to be a very important tool to educate our players. I think education is going to be paramount and give them a solid foundation before they go to the States. So the sky is the limit, and we the Rockies and our group had to create that to make it the best that we can make it be.
Orlando's done such a terrific job running the Latin American facility and the Latin American program for a number of years for the Rockies. Tim Stauffer with a 1-strike count. Double checking the signs from Glenn Hoffman.
Been a third base coach for a long time. Done a very good job with it.
All in the family with Trevor, the longtime closer, now in the front office. Runner going, swung on and missed. Rosario's throw is not in time. Saved from a center field trip by Tulowitzki. So Cedeno with the stolen base. It's out there with nobody gone.
First stolen base in a Padre uniform.
Or excuse me, one man out because there was a strikeout at the plate of Stauffer. Correct that.
Trying to get the strikeout throw out here. He faked a bunt, and sometimes Juanlina's arm is so strong and he gets so quick that he lets that hand fall outside the baseball. That's what creates that long move on. Padres 2 for 5 in runners in scoring position tonight. The Rockies are 4 for 10.
Venable, a single and a triple tonight in 3 trips. And this is looped in no man's land, and Cedeno is going to come home and score. Will Venable with an RBI single to left. Had his bat broken, but just hit it where there wasn't a fielder, and it's 7-5.
Now look at this one more time on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. It's a slider in, shatters the bat completely in half. But again, strength and bat speed carries this ball out of Tulowitzki's reach. By the time Culberson got there, he's halfway to the plate to try to go to second base, prevent advancement of Venable. 39 RBIs now, is that right? Yeah, 39 now for Venable.
The club leader is Carlos Quentin, who's on the DL with the knee issue. He's got 45. Ottavino trying to freeze the feet of Will Venable, who is a threat to run.
Venable 13 stolen bases, been caught 3 times.
Throw to second on the pitch out, and they have Venable. For Willeen Rosario, good call. If it came from the dugout on the pitch out, Tommy Runnels, and they were right on.
Well, good job by Willeen not to get in too big a hurry. He stepped out to the baseball, got his footwork properly in a position to throw the ball on a straight flight. And on that straight flight, it allowed Tulowitzki to make the tag on Venable, the 4th time he's been caught.
Two outs, 2-0 count on Amarista. 1 for 3 tonight. This is looped to center field. This will drop. And again, if you're Ottavino and Rosario, you have to deal with speed at first.
No question you do. Even though he's got a couple of stolen bases, that's it. He can fly a little bit. You've got to be careful with it. Well, Power tickets give you an access to select Rockies games plus $10 to $15 of concession credit. It's like getting $10 or $15 for free. Get yours today at therockies.com/specials for future games. Xavier Nady hit his 12th for Colorado Springs. They fell 8-6 in the first ball game against Memphis. Carlos Martinez, the hard-throwing right-hander, just sent down from the big leagues the other day, won the ball game. He goes to 5-2. Gallagher 0-2.
Ball and a strike. Ottavino in relief of Jeff Manship. He went 5 innings, allowed 6 runs, all of them earned on 8 hits, couple of walks, no strikeouts. 1-1 on Chase Headley. Chase 0 for 6 in the series. Chase doing a lot of work with Phil Plantier and Alonzo Powell before the ball game, trying to recreate the swing that was so productive for him last year. Last year he hit .286, 31 home runs, and 115 driven in. The 115 led the National League. 3 more than Ryan Braun. Year before, Headley hit .289, similar average, but just 4 home runs and 44 driven in. Now he had about 200, he had exactly 223 more at bats, but his home runs jumped by 27. Previous high prior to last year was 12 in 09. And this year Chase has 8 home runs in 392 at bats. That's what front office guys do, scouts do. Was it a breakout year indicating there's going to be more of 25 to 30 home runs and 100+ RBIs, or was that just a superb year, a career type year? Wild pitch, Amarista moves up. So it becomes an aberration, and what you more likely can expect is 10 to 15 home runs and 285 kind of average and 75 RBIs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's solid play. But last year, I mean, those numbers are the numbers of a superstar.
And had people in front of him, though, getting on base, allowing you to drive in runs. And he's been hurt. Thumb stays out. You're probably going to see those numbers again.
Well, of course, the guys in front of you, that has no effect on how many home runs you hit.
No, but the RBIs, yes. Big time.
Yeah. 3 and 2 on head.
And who's hitting behind you has a lot to do with it, too.
And another ground ball for Headley. And another good play by DJ LeMahieu. 3 singles in the inning, but Ottavino doesn't give up second mark. Inning. Let's give you an answer to that AT&T trivia question. Jeff Decker had a home run in wasn't his first at bat, but he had a home run yesterday. It was his first big league hit. So how many times did that happen with the Rockies? 6 Rockies. First hit was a home run. 2 were pitchers, Armando Reynoso and Darren Holmes. Actually 3, Darren Holmes and Denny Stark. Jay Gaynor, Cliff Brumbaugh, and Jeff Baker. Jeff's still going strong with the Texas Ranger. George, I don't remember Cliff Brumbaugh.
I don't either. Do you remember any of these other guys?
Was he a pitcher or who was he? He was a position player? And if he's watching, I apologize. But I don't remember Cliff Brumbaugh. It's a year before I got seated up here.
How many at-bats did he get? What year was it?
Then. It was 01.
By the way, there's been 114 players have hit a home run in their first at bat.
First at bat.
First at bat.
Right. This is first hit.
First at bat.
That's a lot, though, if you think about it.
So that was probably their first hit, too. And their first at bat.
That'd be their first hit. You're right. Dexter's gone.
Command of that fastball. See how you throw it inside a guy to crouch? You can lock the knees. When those knees pop back, you got him. Yeah, that wasn't necessarily a strike. From the overhead view, you could see in off of the plate a little bit. Dexter does have a great.
All right, Brumbaugh was an outfielder.
Danny Brumbaugh?
No, not Danny. cliff. 6'2", right-handed, right.
And
out of the University of Delaware. He got 46 major league at bats, and he had 10 hits, and he had 1 home run. And that, folks, is more frequently somebody's big league career than certainly a Todd Helton, or even, you know, somebody who sticks around for 6-7 years and ends up with 2,500 at bats. Been a whole lot of folks that get up for about a cup of coffee or two. 3-1. DJ fouls it off. DJ 2 for 3 tonight.
tomorrow you're going to have the first 8,000 fans tomorrow are going to receive Great Clips coupons. Stylists will be on site providing haircuts and collecting donations for Colorado Rockies charities. Presented by Great Clips. It's the Padre ball game tomorrow. Just got a text from Aaron Cook that said that he played first and third. At least he did when I played with him.
That's when he got to the big leagues. He was an outfielder. Actually, I'm glad Aaron called. This is good stop at second, and LeMahieu's going to lose a base hit by that fine play by Jed Jerko. I asked Will Venable tonight. I said, "Who'd you get your first hit off of?" And he said it came against the Rockies. And now Aaron's looking in. He's saying, "I know who it came against.
Yeah,
it came against Cookie."
Yep.
And it was a triple at Petco. And Will said it may actually have been a home run the way the park's configured now, because they pulled that fence in.
Well, Aaron's elbow just never got 100% this year and couldn't continue on, so he's going to give him a little bit of a break for the rest of the year and see if total rest will bring it back. Prior to the injury, he was back up 92-94, and numerous scouts tell me throwing the ball very, very good. And the flexor tendon popped up on him. It took some time to heal. He tried to come back, and it just didn't work.
Troy lost a chunk of that bat, so he goes and gets a new piece of lumber. Base hit his last time up to center field. He's 1 for 2 and a walk. Rockies trailing 7-5. That's a strike. 11 hits for both squads. Tim Stauffer in relief of Eric Stoltz. 4 2/3, 5 runs, 11 hits, 3 walks for Stoltz. Coming out quickly because he remembers about a week and a half ago when Tulowitzki was arguing balls and strikes, he got run. Let's take a look at this pitch, see if it was below the knees.
A little low, but he did catch the zone.
7-5 Padres. highlights. McDonald's has all sorts of great deals right now for $1. I'm loving it. Third inning. Jed Jerko with a home run to the opposite field. That would make it 6-4 San Diego. In the 6th inning, Will Venable with a sawed-off base hit to the left side, through the left side, to make it 7-5. San Diego's maintained a 2-run lead the last few innings. Again, that brought to you by McDonald's. Yonder Alonso at the plate. And here's the 1-0. Good changeup from Adam Ottavino. Usually fastball slider. Mixed in that changeup there, was effective.
Confidence to throw the changeup when you're behind in counts, and he threw it in the low 80s and had some turn to it.
Well, it's what you talk about a lot. Sometimes out in the bullpen, when you're throwing, there's a pitch you may not utilize a lot that on a given night feels really good. You bring it to the main the middle part of the diamond.
He hadn't had command of his fastball like he has last year or the first part of this year. So going back to the changeup off speed stuff, then you can get guys to chase your fastball out of the zone.
And a walk to Alonso. Safelite Auto Glass, the folks to call if you have windshield issues. 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. Jed Jerko at the plate. Jerko to third. See if the Rockies can spin one. And they will. Great feed by Arenado to LeMahieu.
It's all about being quick with your feet in a transition and getting rid of the baseball. Arenado possesses a very strong arm, so it allows him, and an accurate arm on top of that, allows him to turn a lot of double plays. Playing a little closer to the line latter part of the ball game allowed him to make that play look awfully easy. The turn by LeMahieu, another good one, as they've had one already in the ball game.
Fouled off by Decker. On the ground to Helton, and Todd will flip it to Ottavino. After the walk to Alonso, it turns into a quick inning. Stretch time at Coors Field. The Rockies trailing the Padres 7-5. Arenado Helton against Nick Vincent in the bottom of the 7th. Are you the ultimate Rockies fan in our great state? Show us why you're the ultimate fan by taking a picture through Instagram or Twitter and tagging you with a Root Fan CO hashtag. For official rules, visit facebook.com/RootSportsRM. So Stauffer goes an inning and a third. Did not allow a base runner. And now hand the baseball to Nick Vincent.
Another one of those guys coming out of the bullpen. He had a lot of people chasing him right before the trade deadline. He and Gregerson both.
Is that any different? Is that any different than any other year? Do the Padres, they always have 2 or 3 guys that are coveted by other teams in that pen.
And very much so whenever that Kevin Towers was running it. He really re-emphasized the back end of the bullpen and to win a lot of baseball games. Quite honestly, that's what he did in Arizona to fix their ball club his first year in there.
He just recently traded a starter to the Padres, Ian Kennedy. Very good starter for Joe Thatcher, and a well thought of right-handed reliever that's in the minor leagues. Rosario 1 for 3, a 2-run single in the first. Deep short. Cedeno with the long throw, and it's a perfect throw. It's a nice play by Ronnie Cedeno. Four hits last night for Arenado. He's really slumped tonight. He got robbed his first time up. Then a base hit to right. And he smoked a triple to center field. 6 for his last 8. And this ball's hit on the button, but it's right at Cedeno. 2 outs. 2 outs, and Todd Helton, an RBI single in the first. A walk and a pop-up will be next. Rockies got 4 runs in the first inning to take a 4-1 lead. Fortunately, Jeff Manship gave up a 4 spot in the second inning. The Padres retook the lead. Rockies had another great opportunity in the third inning, but they're in the bottom of their order with the bases loaded, nobody out. Blackman left on left hit a fly ball to shallow center, and then Jeff Manship in the third inning rounded into a 4-6-3 to end the inning. Edgemere Escalona throwing.
Been a while since he's been in a ball game. The Rockies trailing this 7-5. If Vincent able to get through this game, this inning I should say, in the 7th, want Escalona to come in and maintain that ball game the way it is.
Fouled off down the left field line. High heat. Hilton's gone. Nick Vincent, a 1-2-3 7th inning. We turn the page to inning number 8. The Rockies trail 7-5 at home against San Diego.
line. This is walking down. We go top 8, 7-5. Padres. It was on this day in 1995 that the great Mickey Mantle passed away. You know the Mick, 16-time All-Star, 3-time AL MVP, Hall of Famer in 1974, passed away in Dallas on this day. And he, of course, was a Oklahoma native. George, am I saying this right? Spavinal is where he was born, but he grew up in Commerce. He moved there when he was 4, right?
Grew up in Commerce. He was signed by Tom Greenway to scout out of Willard, Missouri that had the area. Tom signed him. And obviously, great career. Became good friends with Mickey, and I was in a Yankee uniform. He was playing his golf tournament all the time in Grove, Oklahoma. A place called Shangri-La.
Retired in 68, into the Hall in 74 with Whitey Ford, right? I think he went in with him.
May have.
Yeah.
Commerce Comet.
Edmer Escalano come into the ballgame. 1-4, 43 innings pitched so far. Scuffled of late. 565 earned run average. Good game for him to get his foot back on the ground. Try to have that 1-2-3 inning. Overpower inning. He'll start out with a soft grounder. Whoop. Bobbled by Arenado. There's that strong arm. A lot of guys would have hunted for the baseball, hurried things up, and made a wild throw. Arenado right on the money.
Ottavino, a couple innings, gave up a run on 3 hits. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Ronnie Cedeno is 1 for 2 and a walk. Outside. Miami cooled off Kansas City tonight, George, in 10 innings, 1-0.
Kansas City, one of the hottest clubs, along with Atlanta in all the baseball.
Atlanta won again tonight. Miami sent Jose Fernandez to the mound. 7 innings, no runs, 3 hits, a walk, and 6 punch-outs. Look out, the bat went flying. The wild card standings. I haven't looked at that in a while. The A's right now lead the wild card. There's 2 wild cards. Tampa also would go today. The Orioles, the Rockies, will see them over the weekend, a game and a half back. The Indians and Royals right there also. Three and 2 it remains on Cedeno. Yankees in a slugfest with the Angels. Yankees lead 14-7 in the 9th inning. Soriano's hit a couple of home runs. He's got 5 home runs for the Yankees already. Mark Trumbo is 26. Mike Trout is 21st.
Tell you what, speaking of Kansas City, just for a minute, Drew, go back there a little bit. Picking up Jamie Carroll was a nice pickup.
Anytime Jamie Carroll is on your squad, it's a good pickup. Good pitch. Escalona strikes out Cedeno. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. A reminder, on the air tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon here on Root Sports with the pregame show. And then 30 minutes later, Andrew Cashner, the hard-throwing right-hander for the Padres against Jorge De La Rosa in his 25th start, bidding for his 12th victory for the Rockies. Mark Kotze will pinch hit for Nick Vincent. At the knees for a strike. Change up. And it's an 0-2 count on Kotsay. Going to the ninth inning in St. Louis, the Pirates, that big series with the Cardinals, are up 3-2. McCutchen is 17th, Jordy Mercer is 5th, and a base hit for Kotsay. Two outs, that'll bring up Will Venable again. Will's got 3 hits tonight, and a couple of RBIs. Those guys have some baseball stories at first. Kotsay and Helt.
I think that Walt Weiss not going to take any chances at all. He'll go get the left-hander down in the bullpen. Josh Outman's been warming up. Escalona will go 2/3 of an inning.
Rockies down 7-5 here in the 8th. George, you were asking me, that's the moon.
It is?
Yes. Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. Who wants tacos?
Right there.
That would be the moon.
Okay.
Who wants
and this
tacos?
be about tacos?
That'd be about tacos.
Okay.
If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7, and hopefully they will tonight because they need to, text the keyword taco to 720-720. And when that does occur, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Anything else you want to tell us, George?
Yes, I do. I want to show you one more thing. Taco Bell right there.
Right on that corner of the moon.
Right there.
I did not know they'd opened an establishment there.
Yes, they have.
Will Venable swings
and it has
and
a
misses.
drive-through if you want to drive through.
It's probably not a long line.
All the above. Not very long.
No. You're Josh Outman on for the 43rd time. Been real good against lefties. And a weak ground ball to second. LeMahieu will throw to Helt. DJ's been busy tonight. Kotsay is left on base. And we will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-5 San Diego, bottom 3rd for the Rockies. Count 7-5. Check out the new charitable campaign from the Rockies and Root Sports, Hit Count. From now until the end of the year, every Rockies hit will mean a monetary donation to Children's Hospital Colorado and also Special Olympics Colorado. So go to therockies.com/hitcount to donate today. That's rockies.com/hitcount. Luke Gregerson, the 8th inning man, and an outstanding setup man for the Padres, will take over. Charlie Culberson, Charlie Blackmon, and then a pinch hitter for the Rockies. Culberson's had a nice night, 2 for 2 and a sac fly. Gregerson has a wicked slider. Rockies' last base runner was Charlie Blackmon in the 5th inning with a 2-out single. Nick Vincent, a 1-2-3 7th inning. Rockies have a 4-game winning streak on the line. Here we go. Gregerson to Culberson. And Charlie swings over the top. There's that slider that just appears to be so late. One and two.
Gregerson's a lot like a guy named Larry Anderson that does the announcing for the Phillies. When he late in his career, all he threw was a slider, and it was just like the Sparky Lyle, Steve Carlton sliders, just a cock of the wrist and hold it cocked all the way through. And you know, I'm not sure he threw it though, but he's a Philly fan. But he threw it, and he threw it repeatedly. Went on to Houston, did it again there. He was a one-pitch reliever. He was very good with it. Had pinpoint control with it.
Good eye from Culberson. It's 2-2. Good pitching matchup in LA tonight. George Rue against Harvey. And so far it's the Mets leading 1-0. Rue's been overshadowed certainly by Yasiel Puig. But Rue's had a fantastic first year in the big leagues.
Oh, there's no question he has. I mean, he came over and pitched very well for their ball club, the first place ball club.
11-3 with a 2.97 ERA.
Is that any good?
Good eye. Culberson again, 3-2. Hyun-Jin Ryu. Hard on the ground to Headley, gets a clean hop, 1 out.
Vincent got away with one. That was a hanger. Nice play with Headley. He's going to play the line now. No doubles down the lines with depending on who's up at the plate. Blackmon 1 for 1 in his career versus Vincent.
Blackmon with Dickerson on deck. Charlie a knock in the 5th, and as I mentioned a moment ago, he's the last guy to reach for the Rockies. Eight in a row retired. Combination of Stoffer, Vincent, and Gregerson. Rockies finally got Derek Stoltz, 4 2/3. He gave up 5 runs on 11 hits after bringing in a 1.13 ERA against Colorado this year. 3-1. And Jerko throws out Blackman. 2 outs. This is what Gregerson does, George. Kind of boring innings.
Easy innings. Yeah, you got Dickerson, a left-hander, and that bench getting thinner and thinner. At least Herrera, Torrey Alba to swing the bat. In the 9th inning, it's going to happen against Houston Street. He's warming up down in the Padre bullpen right now.
Dickerson last night, a double off the wall. And then center field, another double. Torrey was 2 for 5 and a walk. Ripped into the crowd foul. Dickerson trying to reach for Dexter Fowler.
Back foot slider. Put it over on that back foot, meaning on the outside part of the plate. Put it in a very good position. That's Rockies take the lead or tie. Rex Brothers will be throwing the 9th inning. Otherwise, Wilton Lopez.
Two and 2. Dickerson fouls this off, and it's out of play. Houston Street, the former Rockies, been terrific for San Diego of late. He's blown only 3 saves in a Padre uniform since moving west from Colorado.
Health's the only thing that's been an issue with him.
I said this game was on pace to be 65-64.
Yeah, slowed down, didn't it?
A lot of zeros put up by both pens. San Diego did get a run off of Ottavino. Adam pitched a couple of innings. Another 2-2. And Dickerson breaks the bat, but he hits it pretty well to right, and it is going to short hop the wall. Dickerson is going to scoot around second, head to third. In there with a 2-out triple on a shattered bat, no less. That AB, George, was Helton-esque.
Well, watch what happens again on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. It's going to be a slider, but he goes down and gets it. And the bat exploded in his hands and went up the first base line. As he gets this ball off of the wall, the first major league triple for Corey Dickerson in a Rocky uniform. The relay throw over, not in time.
And with Dexter coming up, Bud Black, interestingly, is going to bring in Street for a 4-out save. I say interestingly because Gregerson is one of the top 8th inning men in baseball. Runner at third, 2 outs when we come back. Rockies down 2. Dexter's 8 for 17 against him. So Bud Black didn't like that matchup. You understand why. And Dexter now faces former teammate Houston Street.
Street, to see the 0-4 record, 22 of 23 save opportunities, an ERA of 3.38. The whip is very good. Last time he threw, he got a save against the Cincinnati Reds on August the 10th, an inning, no hits, 2 strikeouts. Right-handers hit 221 against him. Left-handers 227. You can see all the good numbers for Houston Street. While in a Rockies uniform, his 84 saves ranked 3rd all-time. His success rate here, 88.3% at save opportunities with the Rockies, the best all-time in a Rocky uniform. Street's not gone more than 1 inning since 2012. August the 3rd, it was against the New York Mets. He's been asked to get 4 outs here.
Dexter 1 for 4 against Street. Said Houston's blown. A moment ago I said 3 saves, only 2 saves actually in a Padre uniform. 45 for 47. Dickerson a moment ago a triple. And now Dexter trying to deliver it with 2 outs in the 8th inning. You know the arsenal. It's a 3-pitch mix. Sometimes hard to differentiate the changeup from the slider.
Yeah, his changeup is the pitch, secondary pitch he uses predominantly against left-handers. He doesn't use it against right-handers. Right-handers, it's the slider. Fastball velocity since that rookie year with Oakland, where it was 93, 96, has dropped. It's 89, 90, 92 at times. It lasted 90. But it's more of a show pitch. He goes to a lot of secondary stuff for outs.
He's always had great command. 2-1.
Most closers do. They don't walk many people. That's why they're in the role. You see the average fastball at 89 miles an hour. The slider at 83 used about 33% of the time. And then we mentioned the changeup against lefties.
2-1. 3-1. And Mayhew's on deck. Changeup swung on and missed, and then 3 straight fastballs up and away. Thinking changeup, George?
Well, I would think so. I mean, kind of setting up on that outside corner. It was off speed. Change up at 82.
and that's not where he wanted that pitch.
No, it was up. It was on the outer half where he wanted, but it was up. He was trying to throw it for a strike, obviously feeling comfortable doing it. 3-2 pitch. They're asking fastball away, but he shook off, and he's going to throw the changeup.
And Dexter pulls it right at Jerko. So the Rockies leave Dickerson at third in the 8th. We move to the 9th inning. San Diego 7, Colorado 5 at Coors Field on a Tuesday night. Opening celebration of 2 new Cabela stores in Thornton and Lone Tree, August 15th at 11 a.m. Rockies trailing 7-5 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Let's go to center field, check in with Jenny Cavell. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Drew. Well, first things first, the Rocks need to rally. And then coming up on the Toyota postgame show, a few things to get to. We're going to start with Man Shipwrecked. Jeff Manship, he did not have a warm welcoming here at Coors Field in his debut here at 20th. And Blake gave up 2 home runs. But the good news is the Rocks hitters, they were offense and running, and they were doing it against a left-handed pitcher. They finally got to Eric Stoltz in their 3rd visit against him this season. 11 hits, 5 earned runs. We're going to talk about the Rockies offense, and hopefully we'll talk about the comeback. We'll also get you inside the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Fellas?
All right, Jenny, thank you. Wilton Lopez had 1 strike on Alexi Amarista, and this is in the air to left center field. Pretty well hit, but Dexter will long stride his way to the baseball. And that's out number 1. Chase Headley will be coming up. Headley's 0 for 4. He's hit it on the ground 3 times to LeMahieu and once to Help.
Usually that'll tell you cheating on the fastball, getting out front of everything. Not wanting to get beat on the inner half of the plate.
Wilton misses there. It's 1-1. Good pitch, 1-2.
By judging by the velocity, 92, 94 miles an hour from Lopez tonight, when you start to feel that good and the ball coming out of your hand like that, sometimes you try to overthrow it. You get out fundamentally. That time he aired it out, up and elevated at 94. See you later.
Too quickly gone in the 9th inning. Yonder Alonso coming up to face Wilton Lopez. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. It is played by DJ LeMahieu. Every night he sparkles, or one of his infield mates sparkle. Arenado, Tulowitzki, Elton with a pick. That was well located at 95.
Haven't seen a lot of that out of Wilton Lopez at all this year. Driving downhill with late movement on that fastball.
Alonso, a single way back in the 1st inning that drove in a run. Received on the outside corner. It's 1-2. George, we're going to see his future brother-in-law this coming weekend. His sister's marrying Manny Machado.
Really?
Yep. Yonder was telling me on a previous Padre Rockies series, in a previous Rocky series, that his sister's in med school. They're from the same area of Miami. 3-2. Pretty good young player, both these kids are.
Yeah, they are. Better believe it. Machado, really good player.
Alonso fouls it off. Big chopper foul. Well, I asked Jeff over the weekend. He'll be with me in Baltimore, George. You're going to take that series, that trip off. Who would you take right now, long term? Trout, Machado, Harper. Can't go wrong with any of them, obviously.
Then I'll take Trout.
Yeah, I think I'd lean in that direction also.
I'll take Trout. I think Harper's going to play hurt a lot. Unfortunately, he has a lot of injuries because of the way he plays. Trout plays the same way. He just doesn't get hurt a lot. Body may be built a little bit different. I'll take Mr. Trout.
Three pretty fine players. Good inning for Wilton Lopez. Now the Rockies need to rally LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, Rosario in the 9th against Street. One lead after one, but then Jeff Manship gave up a 4th spot in the 2nd, another run in the 3rd. The Rockies trail 7-5. The hits are all even. It'll be LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, Rosario facing Houston Street. Houston got the final out of the 8th inning. He got Dexter to hit a 1-hopper to 2nd with Corey Dickerson in 3rd. Rockies with a little 4-game win streak on the line. Crowd of 30,366 at Coors Field.
Well, those last 3 outs are never easy. It's not going to be easy for Houston Street. One of the hottest hitters the Rockies have, DJ LeMahieu, will lead it off. Willeen Rosario and Arenado follow Tulowitzki. Just get it started, get it rolling, good things can happen.
And most of the Rockies, George, don't have any history with Houston because the older Rockies were his teammate. The younger Rockies have been in the big leagues. LeMahieu's 0 for 1. Tulo's 0 for 1. Rosario is going to face him for the first time.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the biggest asset that he has may not be overall stuff, but it's the ability to throw strike one and then come right at them and not fool around a lot. He's one of those guys, though, that you got to pamper him a little bit. A few ice bags here and there. The results are what they are. There's nothing wrong with that.
Slowly hit the second, and Jerko gets it to Alonso. 1 out. That'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy's 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. If you like action, good to be a second baseman this evening.
How many plays?
LeMahieu's got 8 assists. Jerko 7. Also, LeMahieu's caught a pop-up. Here's the 1-0 to Troy. 2-0.
Thing about good closers, too, they never give in. They will grind and grind to try to get you chased 2 counts. Secondary stuff when behind in the count. Here comes the slider to Tulowitzki.
And it's lined to center field, but it's right at Almaris to 2 outs.
You can't hit it any harder than that. The game will even out.
Rosario tonight, 2-run single back in the first. He's 1 for 4. The Rockies offense has struggled late in this ball game. Just 1 base runner since the 5th inning. That was Dickerson's 2-out triple off the bench in the 8th. And this is popped up. Easy play for Ronnie Cedeno. And the Padres end the Rockies' 4-game winning streak. 7-5. They come from behind to do it. They were down 4-1 early. Bud Black's going to shake hands with his club. He got a 4-out save from Houston Street. And the Padres win it 7-5 tonight. Tim Stauffer gets the victory. He's 2-1. Jeff Manship in his second start for the Rockies takes the loss. He's 0-2. And Houston Street with his 23rd save. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery of the Game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Will Venable has really been swinging the bat well since the All-Star break. He was 3 for 5 tonight. A couple of RBIs, including this triple to the right field corner. That ball was well placed for another ribby. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Padres win it tonight 7-5. Rubber game tomorrow. Time to go to center field. Jenny Kavnar standing by. Jenny?
Hey.